Good morning all, and welcome to Allianz Stadium, home of the Sydney Roosters. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. I'm delighted to be joined by New South Wales Premier Chris Minns, Emergency Services Minister Jihad Dib, Sports Minister Steve Camper and Venues New South Wales CEO Kerry Mather. Thank you for your continued support and leadership. I'd also like to welcome commissioners and distinguished guests from all 8 emergency service agencies. We are honoured and privileged to continue working with you and your frontline personnel. Our goal last year was to celebrate all 8 emergency service agencies and create a marquee event recognising our frontline heroes. Thank you to your buy-in and commitment from the emergency service organisations and the Minns government. We collectively exceeded all initial expectations. This year's emergency services event will be held on Sunday afternoon, 22 June, when we take on the Cowboys in round 16. Following on from the New South Wales Police, who were the inaugural spotlighted agency, I'm pleased to announce that the New South Wales Rural Fire Service will be the spotlighted agency this year. The RFS will lead a pre-game show which will highlight their unique capabilities and extraordinary volunteers who work tirelessly to protect and support our communities. We'll also recognise New South Wales SES, which celebrates 70 years of service this year. Again, the Activation Precinct on Driver Avenue will be a hive of activity with interactive exhibits and emergency service vehicles to greet fans upon arrival. What an opportunity to connect with personnel and volunteers and thank them for their valuable service, particularly after the rescue clean-up and efforts on the New South Wales North Coast and Greater New South Wales later this last few weeks. We also welcome back the New South Wales Police versus Australian Firefighters in a curtain raiser match followed by our NRL team playing the Cowboys. Thank you all for being here today for the launch of the second emergency services match. Let me now welcome New South Wales Premier Chris Minns to the lectern.
Oh, thank you. I often get a round of applause. I don't think I've ever got a round of applause at a press conference. Thanks so much. Really appreciate being here in Moore Park this morning for a really exciting announcement. I want to congratulate the Roosters as well as emergency services for this exciting initiative, the second emergency services round. We think this is a fantastic opportunity to spotlight the heroism, the bravery, the community service of those men and women that work in emergency services in New South Wales. And we've got a cast of thousands here. We're all going to speak for 10 to 15 minutes each, so then we'll take questions if you're still around at the conclusion. But I just wanted to say this has come at an opportune time because it's an opportunity for us to spotlight and highlight the kind of public service that emergency service workers put in for the Mid-North Coast floods. We literally had close to 700 emergency rescues over a 4-day period involving all of our emergency services from police, surf life saving, the SES, the RFS, Fire and Rescue New South Wales, the VRA, all of them working together. In some instances, plucking people out of trees or raging floodwaters in a nick of time. And yes, we did tragically lose lives as a result of those terrible storms. But I can tell you, we would have lost hundreds of more people if it wasn't for the bravery of the men and women who serve the New South Wales Emergency Services. We're in a huge debt to them, and I think this is a fantastic initiative for the Roosters because it's an opportunity to do something that we all love, go to the football, and at the same time beat a Queensland team, and lastly to celebrate emergency services. Look, the Roosters have had a tough few weeks, but I feel like they're on the up, and I've got no doubt they're going to smash the Cowboys when they play. And we're really encouraging everybody who's done time with emergency services in New South Wales to come down, accept a lap of honour. It really puts everything into context, something that is so important for New South Wales. We're a resilient community, and we're seeing more natural disasters, not less. So I'd like to end my brief period here by making a big, bold call to anyone in our community that's thought about joining the SES or the RFS or the VRA. if it's been in the back of your mind as something that you'd like to do, maybe the kids have grown up a little bit, take the plunge and do it. It's a hugely rewarding team exercise. It's an opportunity for you to work with like-minded people on genuine community good, and you're doing exciting things at the same time. The SES in New South Wales literally jump out of helicopters, rescue people from raging floodwaters. It's often difficult, sometimes dangerous work, but it's never dull and it's always exciting, and we'd like more people to be part of it. So if you're considering joining the emergency services, today is the day.
Thanks, Premier. Oh, they gave you a clap, mate. This is...
Thanks, Premier.
Keep doing press conferences if you can't.
Thanks, Premier. We'll now hear from Minister Dibb, followed by Commissioner Rogers and Minister Camper, and then we'll take some questions. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Joe, and good morning, everybody. And given the Premier didn't speak for 15 minutes, I'll use his time and add that to my 15 minutes as well. Thanks for not laughing. But anyway, I just want to say so much a gratefulness to the Sydney Roosters for this work. This is an incredible thing. It brings the greatest game of all together with some of the greatest people of all, which are our emergency services, not only our volunteers, but also our paid emergency services. Now, what the Premier has just talked about is an incident that we've seen, and we've spent some time together up in the mid-north coast of New South Wales. And there's an incredible sense of work that the emergency services all did together. And what we saw was a really great example of how the emergency services do work together. Whether it was the SES, whether it was the RFS, whether it was the police, whether it was the AMBOs, surf lifesaving, marine rescue, the VRA, everybody just worked together to get the best possible outcome, which was about serving the community. And I think it's a really important step, and it speaks volumes about the sense of community and the sense of spirit from the Roosters, that they want to take this opportunity to say a thank you to our emergency services personnel. To be able to say, as a community, we see you, we thank you, we acknowledge you, because you give more of yourself to other people, and that speaks really important volumes. And I think it also then highlights just that idea that rugby league, the role that it can play within the community as such. Now, the spotlighted agency this year is the RFS, and people might think of RFS only when it comes to bushfires or only when it comes to summer. But only last week we saw them again up there with the flood rescues, also helping with the clean out. We see them at road crash rescues. And the important point that you can see is every single one of those emergency service agencies is standing behind us. They all are specialists in their own area, but they all work incredibly well together. Because when you're in trouble, you don't really care about the colour of the outfit that somebody's wearing. What you care about is the work that they're doing. And I just want to say a very big thank you and a special acknowledgement to our emergency services personnel. You're everyday heroes who go above and beyond to make a difference. Again, I thank the Sydney Roosters for coming up with this initiative. I have to agree with the Premier, just because you have to, but I have to agree with the Premier, and I really predict that there's going to be a massive victory here. But more importantly, it's going to be a chance to celebrate our emergency services, and thank you very much to the Roosters, who I know have put out about over 5,000 tickets to our emergency services personnel. So come to the game, and if you can't come to the game, watch the game. But if you want to do a bit more than that, then please look at joining up with one of your emergency services. There's a job for every single person, and the community needs you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Commissioner Rogers.
Thanks, Minister. If I could just add my thanks to the Roosters for a brilliant initiative. Such a good thing to focus on all the emergency services. I'm proud this year that it's RFS. And I think this game, Roosters v Cowboys, it's a bit like a state of origin, really. I think the only thing that would be better than beating the Cowboys would be beating the Melbourne Storm. Like we have with competition between football clubs, emergency services also are competitive between states. So this is about the pride of New South Wales emergency services also. So we look forward to beating them well and truly. Thanks so much.
Thanks, it's great to be here, and this is the second year of this initiative, and I'm so proud of the Roosters for committing to this initially and working with Venues New South Wales to host that special day. Our emergency service workers are our true unsung heroes of our state. They put the community first every single day, and the recent floods in the mid-north coast remind us how vital our emergency services are. I'm thrilled the Roosters are shining the spotlight on them again after last year's success. I'm a St George supporter, but I wore Roosters colours today. I've made that commitment. Unlike my colleagues. Look, the emergency services game is an opportunity to highlight and celebrate the selfless work done during floods, fires, emergencies, and times of crisis. And on the 22nd of June at the Allianz Stadium, the rugby league community will come together to thank our frontline workers and with their families, and that's what to appreciate. It's free entry for all emergency service workers and their families. It's a great initiative, great success last year. I'm so proud as the sports minister to be part of this, and thank you to everyone, every emergency service from the bottom of our hearts for what you do every day and through difficult times for our community. I might pass on to, I think it's Matt and Nafu to say a few words and answer some questions instead of the Premier. Thank you.
I think that concludes the speeches, everyone. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask now.
What do you feel about the Rabbitohs petition to bring the game back to Allianz?
Well, we've been here for 118 years. We've never left the precinct. It's our spiritual home. I don't think it's anyone else's. As far as I understand, the Rabbitohs have a contract out at ACOR for 2032. And quite frankly, I can't see us having more content on here from a football perspective. We've got 3 codes here: us, the Waratahs, Sydney FC, and plenty of concerts and international events as well. I think it's full from that point of view. And we've been here for 118 years now. Never left the precinct. It's our spiritual home.